Hello.
Hey, James, how's it going?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Doing very well. I'm gonna actually turn down the music so we can hear you a bit better.
Right, sorry.
No, the music's just really loud. It might be me. I keep my headphones plugged into a amp, so everything's always really loud. But how are you doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm okay. I think I might be catching a cold, but just a regular cold.
Right. That's
Just,
it's never fun though.
Just having kids. You just have kids and you get sick every week.
Yeah.
You know, you and I are gonna get along really well. I got kids. Yeah. How many did you have again, James? Was it one or two or three? I can't recall.
I just have one.
One. Okay.
Thank goodness. It might stay that way. It might not.
Right. I've got 4, so they keep us very busy.
You took too long to count that.
No, I was just wondering if I was gonna play guessing games or just say it. So
Well, anybody who's been on your stream knows how many kids you have.
yeah,
That's Marcus.
yeah, very true.
Well, does Marcus count as one?
he should, with all the griping he does about having to make fairy bread.
I like to say that Ginger's got 4 kids, but the Empress has 5.
That's also true.
Yeah.
That's also very true.
I'll be right back. Sorry.
No, not a problem. We found a fossil over here. I'm gonna take that with me. That's very true, Angeli.
He just stole my fossil.
I saw it first.
Actually, I did. I'm the one that covered it. I was just about to mention we got a fossil.
Oh, what was the other comment, Ariana? Could do the chicken pins set up the way you have them with the double path wrapping around, additional 4x4 print pins set up in a larger 4x4 grid. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm setting up for. Can I steal those stones from you? That's why I moved the bridge and everything.
Yeah, hang on.
I might... I wonder. Is it too easy to get beehives now? Should I tell that to James? Should I make the game more difficult?
Look, I think it's like I didn't change it, but if you know what you're doing,
Yeah.
you get it, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, very true. We've cleared hundreds of trees at this point, so it's no surprise we have hundreds of or dozens of beehives, or at least a dozen beehives. But
yeah, I think it's okay. I in these kind of games, I like your character does level up, but like mostly your knowledge of the world levels up.
Right.
That's the kind of game I like to play. Like
Me too.
Valheim, you can blast through if you know what you're doing.
Right.
If you're like feeling it out, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I had a great idea today. Actually, James. Hey, Moxie. Good to see you. You know how those satellites fall sometimes?
Yeah.
It would be super cool if there was like a randomized meteor event, and you get a meteor, and maybe it'd give you some iron, maybe some zirconium, maybe when it breaks, it drops a piece of gold.
That's actually something that was nearly in the spring update.
Really?
Ooh, hello.
And it was a meteorite that after you'd have to find zirconium and complete Franklin's quest, and then they would start dropping.
That's
really
so
rare,
cool.
like rarer than satellites.
Right. What was what made it pause? That it didn't make it?
Some strange things with I didn't want it just to appear on the map like the satellites. Like
Right.
I wanted if you were up late, I wanted you to be able to see like a meteorite falling, and like you'd have to run to where you could see the tail in the sky.
That'd be so
And,
cool.
I ran out of time.
Ran out of time. Okay, so it's still in development. So probably summer.
Yeah. Hopefully, I just want a few more activities that happen at night. Just
Oh gosh,
to
yeah. Just encourage it.
people to stay
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
That'd be good.
I'm sure you've been
I
asked.
don't know. I think I suggested it after you ended yesterday. Now, this is not the Hills Toys kind of comment. Talking about the chatter of a possible second island and how to fill it in. What if you kept it for a possible winter update and referenced it around Tasmania or something and then be able to add the snow that way? And so that way it gives the people that are after snow something that also makes sense within Australia.
Mm.
Yeah, I think if there was going to be like a snowy island you could go to, it would be South City.
Yeah.
But like, if and also if you could visit another island, it would probably have to work like the mines. Like you wouldn't be able to live there, and it wouldn't be able to save.
Yeah.
Be like an adventure, like a one-day excursion.
Yeah, but it'll be like to go there just to get supplies and materials. A bit like, okay, I might be referencing an Animal Crossing there because you know how you go on Captain's Island, get vines and stuff, like special things, that kind of. And you can go over there and you can get snowballs or something.
I've never played Animal Crossing, so I'm not 100% sure.
There's more stones in there for you.
Okay, perfect. And I'm gonna.
That was a joke. I played lots of Animal Crossing.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure the inspiration was here. I'm gonna sleep real quick. Finally, you're just not trolling me with Christmas in July or whatever it was. I'm gonna sleep, y'all. That was a funny one. I was like, it's Australia. Anything's possible. Anything's possible.
It's so good, Ginger. He got me too, and I'm like, wait, what? Have I messed that up?
That's funny. It's so funny.
I mean, unfortunately, that's essentially my sense of humor, is just telling lies.
Yeah.
Probably not a great sense of humor to have.
That's hilarious, too.
I should know. That's just an Australian trait. Like, why didn't I pick up on that?
Oh, speaking of Australian traits, have you, like, the frying pan you put in, was that just because of, like, classic Australian meme culture where the one old dude was swatting at a crock with a frying pan? Have you seen that video?
No, I'm not. Unfortunately, it was because there was a bug, and it's probably still possible, but if you do heaps and heaps of cooking and then walk away, there's a chance your character's holding it.
Well, that's awesome.
And keeps holding it. So I saw that on a stream, and I thought, oh, that'd be a
That's just fun to put in. That's cool.
You
do know about the guy that whacked a crocodile with a frying pan, though, right?
Oh gosh, it's so funny. There's a couple of good Aussie memes. Like there's the old Aussie guy that's getting arrested. He's all like, "What's the charge? Eating a succulent Chinese meal?" Like it'd be so funny to work that into the game somehow. Or the Aussie guy that's barking like a dog.
One of the classic ones is just waiting for a mate.
Just waiting for a mate.
Yeah, it was on like a cop show, and they were trying to book this dude, and he was in the car park, and he was off his head.
Oh yeah, that's
like,
right.
Just waiting for a mate.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Oh, and it's Sunday, so he's closed today. Okay. Let me find.
James, this is Maggie. Pleasure to finally meet you.
Maggie, is that your name in chat?
Oh, it's yes, Maggie602.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Usually in Gingers or I'm in Reefs.
Yeah, Maggie's around a lot.
Maggie May 602, but now it's Maggie 602.
I tell you, I think James made someone state yesterday in chat, like, I think Prem or someone, they're like, please say hello to me. And I could almost see them, like, fan kitting. It's like, it was fun. It was cute.
That's funny.
Yeah,
James applied.
I don't like doing it because it clogs up the chat if I just say hello to everyone.
Yeah, true.
I could see that they wanted it, so I said hello.
So, you know, like I was saying the other day, it's like, it's just so cool, like the food modeler. Like, honestly, I would think from your perspective, would you almost classify something like that as like a lower hanging fruit? Like, hey, I have all these assets in game, I can easily make them a secondary asset. Like, what was the inspiration behind the food modeler? Just more items because we're always begging, or was it always in the works? Or
Placeable food has been requested for ages, and
Right.
yeah, and it was a mini update, and I thought, well, now's the time. So it was a lot of just putting assets that already existed. So
right,
it was time consuming, but I think to do all the items, it took a day
right.
of the update. Like the rope fences and all the other items in John's shop took way longer than the food modeler.
Oh, I believe it, because they're like brand new assets.
Yeah.
That's a good question too. With all the AI stuff these days, do you ever throw your formulas into like ChatGPT if you really can't figure it out or anything like that?
I'm paying $20 a month for ChatGPT, and I use it as a Unity expert. So if something weird happens in Unity, I can just ask it, and it will answer.
That's
but
huge.
I also got it to write an editor script, which I had to like manually copy and paste all these files to create new items.
Mm-hmm.
And I got ChatGPT to write like an editor script where I just drag them in, and I can just type in a number, and it will do it all for me and set it all up.
That's just genius level, honestly. Like it's a necessary business expense, especially as a solo dev. Have you used it to maybe create any of the assets in game, or is that too technical for it?
As far as I know, it's not great. I don't think there is one that can create 3D models yet, but I could be completely wrong. But no, I really enjoy that part of it. So
I've messed with it a bit, and it can create some base model code, but it needs a lot of work, or it needs a lot more detail, but it can do a few minor things, which is pretty cool. But ChatGPT is revolutionary. A cool story from my side of things. There's a lot going on with my job, and I wasn't directly involved, but we needed some legal documents drawn up for like an event that my company was doing. And going directly to the lawyers, it was like $15,000. Telling ChatGPT to act as a legal expert and type up these contracts for us, and then having our lawyers review them was $3,000. So saved us $10,000. Like we had it all like drawn up. Lawyers said, change this, change that. These are good to go. These look great, type of thing. So it was a very interesting and eye-opening experience, just like how useful ChatGPT is. It's crazy how useful it is. Hey, welcome back, Mickey.
Especially if you can have like a real lawyer like double check it.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
Story of that lawyer that he like got it to write like a paper, and ChatGPT was like referencing cases that it just made up as like evidence or precedent, whatever they call it.
That's hilarious.
And he was like, a lawyer, so he should have read it himself.
That's too funny.
But yeah, it's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah. Hey, so this placeable roof piece that's been getting worked on, I hadn't really seen much of that clip. Is there a size limit to it?
No, and that's one of the reasons why it's
not in yet.
Yeah, it can be real nasty
if you're not, you can like crash everything.
Someone puts it on your island. It won't crash it, but it will make it. It'll be good for trolling people. So that one's a while off.
Oh, okay. That's really cool though.
Like I did, yeah. It's something I've played around with, and I might return to it.
Yeah, I would say it seems like something like that is really near the top of the list too. At least my perception is. People are always asking for like a modular build system of some form, and even something as simple as, okay, we can put our dirt piles and then put up a roof. That's pretty modular, especially since that roof allows you to build under it. I think it'll be huge once it works correctly. However you make it work.
Middle state.
Yeah.
The hard part is like none of the items in the game have like a height.
Right.
Like so. There's no way for me to check, like, if it's clipping through a tree. And, like, maybe that doesn't matter, but if it's clipping through John's shop, that will matter. You can't walk through it. So I'd have to go through every item in the game and give it, like, a height value, and then block it from being placed under it if it's already there, or stop it from being spread too. Yeah,
that's a lot. That's a lot of work, yeah. Man.
I've got one last question for the day.
Yes.
Is it? I know it's been mentioned before, but real life plushies, is that ever going to be a possibility? Like merchandise?
I hope so. Maybe. I won't say anything, but just keep an eye on.
It's not a no.
Definitely not a no. I'll say that. I don't know what I'm allowed to say.
That's cool.
Yeah, okay.
That's
I
really
can
cool.
take that.
Maybe.
Because I know for a fact my bank is going to yell at me.
There's a couple of
But I
companies
don't
out
care.
there where, like, and we had talked about this before, where you can do a custom plushie run, but you know, for those to be successful, you need to have 1, 2, 3,000 in pre-sales, like 3,000 items in pre-sales, something like that. So it would be
Hopefully,
super cool.
In the coming days. Well, maybe I can hopefully talk about that soon if everything goes to plan.
Ooh.
That's really cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I want a Pincher Pot plushie, says Angeli. I agree. I would love that and the frilly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I know
be-
the frilly plushie in the game, when that came out, I had like a little squeal. I will admit.
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
Those
And the
plushies are adorable.
Yeah, they are super cool. I forgot about like the frilly one being in the game already. Yeah, right now with John. So with Summer Sun, Summer Fun, whatever the update name is, we were kind of speculating timeline the other day, and I kind of thought, like, my intuition on it was, okay, there was the Christmas mini update, then it was many months later, right? And Captain, how long was it between Christmas and spring drop? So like 3-4 months, 2 or 3 months.
Just 2.5 months.
Yeah, 2.5 months. Are you looking at like a similar timeline between anniversary update and summer sun, summer fun?
Hopefully.
Okay.
And I'm also looking for like to get some help, but that might be, you know, the summer update might come out before that happens. But
Oh, okay. That's really cool.
yeah, I think just to make updates quicker.
Yeah.
I know, like in general, when I play games, I prefer bigger updates than lots of little ones. So
Right.
I play Minecraft when it gets to, you know, I leave it a couple of years really, and then I go back and then I'm like, oh, look at all this new stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't play like the snapshots every week like some players do.
Yeah. See, it's the same for me with like Valheim. They hit so hard. It was the game. And then they didn't do any sort of update forever. And it just
I've just got to go AFK,
killed 'em.
so I'm just letting you know.
Yeah.
Character's asleep.
Yeah, and it's still an insanely popular game, but I would argue that popularity of Valheim would have stayed running a lot harder had they had like very consistent updates. And it's different with Dinkum. Dinkum's a cozy game. It's a whole different category, and you've actually done insanely well at pumping content into the game. Like, I'd almost say it's a lot more frequent than like what we saw in Valheim. So.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so it's good fun. So the speculation yesterday was, well, I'll bet when this event ends, like the anniversary, like whenever it times out, I guess in July, the tickets will be gone. Like that was the speculation that then Summer Sun would come out, and I said I think it'd be more like lining up with what the Christmas update was, so mid-August or so is what my guess would be.
With the tickets, I'm not going to give a date because that'll either lead to disappointment or
Right.
Yeah, it's just easier to let you guys know when it's ready.
Right.
But, I mean, I'm trying to stick to a similar time frame in general. Like I would have liked for the summer update to be out now, but I knew it wasn't.
Right. Right.
But the tickets, when it goes away, I have an idea for John. So it turns out I don't use it anywhere in the game, but the NPCs do save the date that they moved in, like
Really?
the month, the day, and the year.
That's cool.
Yeah, I thought it was maybe one day they'll mention it. Like, hey, like I moved here like 2 years ago this day. But I thought after this event, John could hold this event for one in-game week every anniversary. So it's actually John's first anniversary.
That'd be really cool.
Oh, yeah.
And it would be like a different date for everyone's island, but it would be, probably most likely in summer and most likely into the first weeks of the year. But
It's just a neat idea in general because that gives you the ability to do that for more NPCs, as like maybe there's different events or different things that are linked to specific NPCs. You could recreate that effect pretty easily.
yeah, and I like the idea of like people's islands having their own, like the island day is on the same day every year on everyone's island, but if players could choose like when a holiday happened, I think makes their island
that's
feel
super
more
cool.
personal.
So for is it Summer Sun or Summer Fun? I can't keep it straight.
I can't even remember.
Okay.
I wrote him a year ago. I think it's Summer Sun.
Okay.
But I mean, I probably should have called it. It was Bloom in Spring.
Right.
And then I should have called it like Scorch in Sun or something. I don't know. That would have been better.
Scorch in Summer, yeah, something.
It was also, yeah. People say in game dev like take your estimate and double it.
Right.
And I should have done that because Summer Sun was supposed to come out in December.
Oh shoot! Yeah.
The spring update was supposed to come out in November, or not, September, October maybe. So they were supposed to come out in Australian spring and Australian summer.
Oh wow! Okay. Yeah. Oopsie daisy.
They've slipped over into the northern hemisphere.
Right. So with Summer Sun, I'm assuming there's gonna be, and I don't know if this has been talked about on other streams or not, but I'm assuming there's gonna be like a third mine tier potentially, or is that or is that not an anticipation we should like marry ourselves to?
I want there to be something similar. So, if not the mines, I want like there to be another place you can go.
Right. That'd be pretty cool.
But the mines is the easier one to do now that I've got like the infrastructure to add new levels.
Mm-hmm.
So if that happens, it's because the other idea didn't work out.
Right.
That I'm playing around with.
Plus, you've already got the emerald shards and stuff too.
Yes. Yeah. And I don't. Yeah. People are stocking up on those emerald shards, and I regret the blueprints because as soon as the update comes out, it's bang, bang, bang. The content, it's gone.
Oh yeah. You saw me put that video up day one. I was like, I'm opening blueprints.
No, that's everyone did it. Everyone did it. So, I mean, you guys, especially if you played enough to stack.
Yeah.
You don't have to. That's why I made them not stackable, because it used to just take up one slot in a chest, and now it's a bit more.
That's the one thing out of everything. Hey Steph, Fafa, good to see you. Out of everything that you've changed, I definitely ginger rage about blueprints now. I hate having to carry them one at a time like that. It drives me crazy.
Yes,
it's a good troll.
Intentional.
It's a good troll.
I think it was KD had like a stack of 45 and they dropped it, and then because they don't stack anymore, it just became one.
Oh,
if they split it in their inventory, it would have worked. But
that's funny.
I felt bad.
Get it? That's too funny. I suppose the question that's resting on everybody's mind, especially mine, but I definitely think everybody is curious, is if gold's ever going to happen.
It's very Australian. They're like our colours.
Yeah.
So I think it has to happen.
Yeah, very true.
And there's a lot of gold here. I think isn't the like elemental thing AU as well, like Australia?
Yeah. Gold is AU. Gosh. Now would it be an asset, or would it be something that like the amber, or would it just be like an ore resource?
I think it's more fun if it's I had that fool's gold idea. I don't know if I'd do that trolley idea anymore. But I think it could be both. I think like you could sell it to John for a big thing, or you can smash it and use it for crafting.
Right.
Like the ruby, the emeralds.
And Captain asks Koalas. Yeah, I definitely think that would happen eventually too, Captain. Like, wouldn't it?
Koalas have to happen. Maybe
Yeah.
1.0.
Right. That'd be so cool. Like the big celebration of the launch, like 1.0 launch. You have koalas. That'd be really neat.
It's so strange because, like, as an Australian, I've only ever seen koalas in zoos, but I've seen kangaroos and emus running around everywhere.
Mm. Hey, Riley.
But
Good to see you.
They're sneaky and quiet.
Hey, Riley.
Hey, Riley.
Gosh. You know, I like that fool's gold idea too, because that's actually unique in the sense that, like, because it's just a pyrite, which I'm pretty sure is some form of iron. So if you found fool's gold above world metal detecting, but you got iron in essence, like early game, that could be pretty cool. That could be a pretty neat advantage, especially if it did like 10 iron pieces, like enough for 2 bars or something like that. Or maybe it was a chance for either gold or the fake gold, the pyrite, which would give you iron if you broke it.
Yeah, and it could also hide inside of quartz nodes because I'm pretty sure
Killer.
like knowledge.
Yeah, those
Gold
things.
likes to hang around quartz.
Yeah, those things do go together. Boy, that would be cool. Oh, that gets me excited. Like gold dropping from quartz veins.
Yeah, especially because it's so rare.
Yeah.
Well, they're not rare, but
So would that? Yeah, they don't know. They're more common now in the mines, but still fairly rare above world.
I'm back.
Now, with the gold being a thing, would that lead to the ability to craft gold statues, which I'm pretty sure I've seen blueprints before, but they're not like officially front facing in the game. Like I could have sworn I've gotten a gold craft unlock before.
that's a really old bug. So what happens is sometimes I have a crafting recipe on an item, and then if I forget to remove it before it launch, if the save thinks it should be craftable, then it won't load the save. So I have to essentially hide those recipes.
Oh, okay.
But that was before Jimmy sold the gold statues.
Right.
And I didn't want my beta testers to lose their save. And then when I released the game, I saw a lot more people obviously could access them. And like, I think Franklin was selling them, or you'd get them from the NPCs. And
Yeah, you get them as a reward, and then you could never see them to craft.
Yeah, so those ones are like legacy items, but
Right.
like customizing items, colors, I think I've found a way that can happen. But I'm giving away so much about the update now. And I don't want to promise anything.
Right. No, it's the Empire. We have to go big for the Empire. That's just how it goes.
I like to think that no one holds you to it when you say hopefully or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
because we all know it's going to be a test of whether it's something that you can or cannot do. That's like when I mentioned even about the koala before. Like there could be like licenses or something holding. I know that.
Yeah.
It's sometimes things nearly get finished, and then like even like I'm showing the whip now, like it's finished. It's just not. It's not good. So it's not
right.
It's not what I'm gonna do. But sometimes I get to override it, and then other times it gets stuck in the game in the dev menus.
That's like yesterday with my question about those couple of items that are in the dev commands with the bridge things.
Yeah.
It was good to have that explanation why they can't be in the game.
Yeah, and some of them are like, so because I did this mini update, I had to go back to an older version of the project. And now I'll have to. I'm like updating it so that I'm trying to merge them and put all the new items after all these items I just put in. Even though it's a bit fiddly, and I probably, because I'm doing it by myself, I probably don't know the best way to do that sort of stuff. So I'm still figuring it out.
It's a lot. I mean, Unity's a big project. So
But some
it's
people
crazy.
say like, oh, what if the game was made in Unreal? It'd be the same,
Be the same
the
type
same
of bugs and drama, yeah.
It's, one of the things on Twitter I saw is like it's like asking a chef what knife they use. It doesn't matter. Like you're gonna eat the meal. It doesn't matter what knife they use to make the meal.
Yeah. I mean, Unity is one of my favorite game engines to play on lately. There's been some really amazing games made on Unity. I think like Raft as well was Unity, and Raft is one of the coolest like procedural generation games I've ever played. So.
And the Sons of the Forest is a Unity game.
Yep, very true. I was kind of mind boggled by that because it looks so good as it stands. So. Oh man, yeah, it sounds like there's some really exciting things coming up, James. I'm looking forward to it. I love coming back to Dinkum every chance I can. So.
Oh, thanks. And I love hearing like what you. I'm not the best at reacting, but I love hearing every suggestion and like all the input because yeah. It helps me reconsider things that like I would never have considered, or like do it in a different way.
Right.
Like that food modeler, I don't think I would ever put in placeable food, but
right.
It's so highly requested that, and now it's like my favorite item. Like I think it's the most satisfying thing to put something in, like the animation and the noise. I just love it.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, it is.
It's
one of my favorite new ones.
It's so
You need to
stupid.
rename it to Fuzzy
no
Machine, though.
Yeah.
Fuzzy Machine. Yes.
Yeah.
It's just a cool thing to add either way. Just because it's such a requested thing, like I'd classify like in the world I am in, which is customer service, like we'd classify that as like surprise and delight. Like so something really cool got put in that no one was necessarily expecting, but everybody wanted. So it just makes even huger fans of the game than they were previously, which is a big plus and a very, very, very cool way to function as a game developer.
And can I also point out, like, I don't know if you're aware, James, but some of the bigger Animal Crossing streamers are actually also starting to really get into it, like the ones that are related around Console Cato.
Yeah, there's a whole subsect of like
and
large streamers playing this now consistently.
You probably would have heard of EJ Plays, correct?
Yeah, I've already watched all of the VODs.
Yeah, so have you seen how he's
well.
all excited and he wants to do something like he was a big one that did Survivor Animal Crossing style, and he's already starting to pull in ideas and get excited about doing it in Dinkum.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I think that would be pretty fun. Someone needs to make a mod for PvP, or I need to, because I think that would be a lot of fun. Like you could set up challenges. Survivor would make a good game show, like in Dinkum.
Yeah,
if you were going to do something like that.
Yeah,
because you need more players though. You need tribes, and I mean, there's a lot of.
Yeah, I think he was going to play with the mods for the
multiple
people,
multi-mod. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's what it's with you adding all these extra designer things. It's starting to pull more and more people.
Yeah, I'm gonna sleep real quick so we can get to a weekday. Is there any one thing that's really stand out to you so far, James, with what you're working on for Summer Sun? Is there anything that you're really excited to put to market?
Yes, but I can't say because I don't know if it's going to work. It might not make it, but there's one particular thing that I'm working on that I think people are gonna
like lose their minds over.
Hopefully, not lose their minds, but I think they'll be like, "Wow, that's pretty cool." I hope.
Oh, James, we lose our minds over a new flower. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. I was like really proud of that new level of the mines, and all I heard was like, "Oh, look at all the flowers." That's okay.
Now,
if you can take any enjoyment out of it, I'm just happy with that.
Is there a category you could put this thing in that you're excited about, or you don't want to give any aspect away at all?
Like adventure.
Adventure. I like that idea. So an adventure category of some sort.
That's what. I've mentioned it on G.SKILL's talk shows. Like that's kind of how I see Dinkum now. It's a decorating game where you go on adventures to get decorations. Like
right.
Which never was my thing. I still need that dink sink.
Oh yeah, I was going to mention that too. Like, where's my dink sink?
Yeah, but it's hard because I have to hide it real good. Like Jimmy isn't good enough for it. Like it needs to be, you need to have 100 million dinks in the bank and then something happens. Like it needs to be.
That's what I had always wanted too.
Yeah.
100 million plus in the bank. Which that would be cool.
That might be a tiny, like, I know there are two types of players. There are players that like only do enough to decorate, and then there are people that like go hard and like.
There's people like me.
Yes, yeah, and all of my beta testers were people like you, Ginger. Like they were
right.
They played very similarly, and like I made it in some places a little bit too grindy because that's the kind of influence I was seeing.
Right. Yeah.
But
you know, that actually brings me full circle, and I think this is a great topic that we just kind of accidentally stumbled into. Had you ever thought about different difficulties? Because whilst I love Dinkum and what Dinkum is, not everybody likes the mines, especially. And I know for a fact there's quite a few viewers that watch me that just have barely ever touched the mines because they just don't like going down. They don't like the combat aspect at all.
Yeah, I think difficulty or like a peaceful mode.
Yeah, is
probably easier, but I also think part of that is my fault because maybe the first time you go in the mines there should be like a couple of enemies, and then the next time you go there's a few more, and maybe not right out the door when you like walk out and get chomped straight away.
Yeah.
So I don't think the mines are as hard as people think.
Right. I'm actually working on like a super in-depth mine guide right now, and I mean you can literally like I can go down there and kill maybe one or two things and just run away from everything else. It's very easy to maneuver.
There's that as well.
Yeah.
If you have a glider, which can be hard to get unless you've been to the mines, but
right.
Yeah, even if you just eat some sausage rolls and bring a copper weapon, it's not.
It's not terrible.
No, but I kind of balanced it for multiplayer, so maybe that needs to be looked at too. Just if there's more players, the same amount of enemies spawn, but if there's less players, less enemies spawn. That's
a good point too, because that's something that a lot of these types of games already take into consideration, like difficulty based on people in the area. Like Diablo is one of those where the more people there are, the harder it is to kill. Valheim is similar, like with the more people online, the harder the boss fights are.
It's a shame though, because that's like my favorite part of the game. Like, developing and playing. Like I like how it kind of nearly feels like a dungeon crawler.
Yeah, I mean, I love the balance. Like for me, it's always going to be like I want more key rooms, and Mickey just said the same thing. She doesn't find many treasure rooms. I always just want more treasure, more loot, more treasure, more loot. That's all I care about. I'll dodge around enemies all day long personally, but I do know, and I would almost think that if there was a peaceful mode, it would attract a lot more players than there are currently.
Yeah,
in the sense of wanting like a cozy type experience, which that kind of touches back on how a lot of the Animal Crossing. There's a lot more Animal Crossing people starting to come over to check this out. So I'm curious on that.
Have to work very similar.
Yeah.
To what was that Small Land where you could only have a peaceful mode in single player, but if you were to do multiplayer, it couldn't be peaceful.
Yeah.
Is that right by memory?
Yeah, and peaceful, and that's actually a really cool comparison. I don't know if you're familiar with Small Land, James, but you could play in peaceful mode where things only attacked you if you attacked first. Otherwise, you could just run around and do your thing, and everything still spawned as normal, which I thought that was super cool. And I feel like that's probably easy to do.
I missed the
Small Land.
I missed the Small World. Because that was when I was on a holiday and everyone was playing Small World. I like tuned in real quick and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna check this game out. And I got back and no one was playing it anymore. Is it still in early access?
Yeah, it's still EA.
Really quickly.
Yeah,
Okay. So they have more stuff.
It didn't keep my attention how I wanted it to. And for me personally, just a little insight into my world, like what I do as a creator. Like, if it's not snapping, and if it's not like a good jump on my channel, and I typically move on pretty fast because I'm looking for that hit, that big jump. It's just kind of what I've become because that's kind of how it's turned into for me. Hey Sam, good to see you. Just I have to drive for that because I have aspirations to get somewhere with the channel. So yeah, it was a fun game, but it didn't keep my attention. Which, ironically or unironically, I'm continually on Dinkum, so you're doing something right. So
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
But, yeah. There's some games I think are going to be like in this space, like that Fae Farm. Although people are complaining it's going to be a full price game, but I don't care. That's right up my alley. And I loved playing Dauntless because I love Monster Hunter.
Okay, I keep seeing Fae Farm stuff. I definitely need to keep up with that too. I played the more recent one because it came out on PC. Yeah, I would play Fae Farm. Oh yeah, because this is Switch only, isn't it?
I think, yeah. I suspect it will come to all the consoles, but they're the people that made Dauntless. I'm pretty sure they're the people that made Dauntless.
Yeah, I would play Fae Farm purely because I see
I watched
a lot of potential there.
Nintendo Direct. I'm sure they said it was console exclusive.
Yeah.
And there's that MMO that's coming out. They finally announced in the Nintendo Direct. It was Palia. It's like an MMO.
Yeah, that one's fun. I've been locked into like NDA stuff with them forever, but I've played through a good bit of their alpha content, and it's
Jealous.
It's good. No, I can't. I don't want to violate the NDA. But it's definitely encapsulating. Like, it's really fun.
Unfortunately, I have to leave because my daughter is home.
Okay.
That's not unfortunate. I'm happy about that.
No, it's fine. I shoot Empress away because I was like, James is here. I'm busy. So she went away. I was like, I'm talking to a dev. So hey, thanks so much for chatting, James. Really appreciate it.
No problem. I know I can surprise you now.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be fun.
All right.
Nice talking to you, James.
Nice talking, likewise. Not you aren't, Captain.
Yeah, typical.